Alright, so should we transition now?
It's up to you.
I think we're live now.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Let's see.
Mom is still cleaning up in the kitchen.
Oh man.
I know she's doing like a cookie bake off with her sisters tomorrow at the house. And like my entire living room has been turned into like cookie palooza.
Mm.
Like I got this huge table in the living room in front of the TV with like 8 chairs, I guess. Tablecloth over, like Christmas decorations everywhere. It looks like Christmas is it's like thrown up all over the house. Hey Justin Beers, how's it going? uh, and I'm just absolutely thrilled. It's Friday. I don't have to work tomorrow. Your mother and I are going to go and help out the food bank again tomorrow morning. And then when we get back, it's going to be people making cookies all day. Gingerbread cookies, sugar cookies. And I think they're going to wind up doing some to give some away. Beth, how's it going? Okay, so the plan is for today is I've been working on this laundry quest a little bit. Made some NPCs set up. I was going to show that, and I was thinking that after I do that, we'll maybe do some testing in Evershade, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so log in first. You guys out there, let me know if the sound isn't right, or if you can't hear the music, or it's too loud, or whatever. Standard disclaimer: I'm not really a professional streamer. I'm just faking it. So this is mostly just to enjoy some quality time with my daughter, and she helps me test stuff. Apparently, I am in the wrong zone. I'm in Faelindral already. That's right. I was doing some testing earlier. Let's move back. Chaz, how's it going? It's good to see you. Or it's good to read you, I guess, is more accurate, right? Have you been doing any more maps? There's things I wish I could tell you, but I can't. And I can't wait till you get to see it and experience it, and then, do your magic with the maps and all. Same to you, Justin Mirror. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. Enjoy some good vacation time. I'm myself. I'm going to wind up working most of it to give people who work for me a break. Generally, at the end of the year, everyone sort of holds on to their days, and it winds up being that it's hard to get a lot of work done during the month of December because most people where I'm working at have got like 20 and 30 years of saved up, 30 years of being at the company or whatnot. I will be off, I guess, Christmas Day, so that's kind of nice. Oh, there's the bathhouse. It's a nice sign that Goblin put together. He's been trying to get some of the signage done. I need to turn off the speed so I can get around. Not run into walls. Still kind of fast. I guess I got the wrong one. Yeah, there it is.
The guard's like, it was just the wind, but really it was the developers running by.
Yeah, all right. All right. It's during the day, so the wash maiden is out here. The bathers are here. I'll fly a little bit so you can see. Candyman, thanks for the follow. I hadn't had a chance to put any text with the NPCs yet. Usually, when I'm working through Quest, I wind up. I try to build all the NPCs first, and then I try to do all the items. I plan it out, have all the items set up for the quest. So as I'm working through quest dialogue, I've got stuff ready to go. I've got a pretty good, I guess, checklist or process now that sort of flies through stuff. But this is the Watchman. She had a different name. I don't know if y'all remember, uh, Berthia, but I decided I was like, well, maybe the player should know her name sort of through discussion, right? Maybe not just have it up there because I feel like uh, if a player is more interested in like, oh, okay, well, they're just in the area and they hear her talking, they'd be more apt to ask her or hail her if they saw that it had like a name above their head. So I'm thinking, well, if I just put it as a wash maiden, then it would just seem like a bather, right? And then it makes the players who are more inquisitive may find the quest, right? But this is that's the plain robe with the I think it was called the soiled robe or soiled color. It just works out really well. Kind of. I think Zucan was the one who told me, "Hey, you need to go with this color." There's Flamelli.
Oh,
Yeah. Turn off fly here. Cessarin, hey, how's it going? Glad for you to be here. We're just goofing off a little bit. Actually, just showing some of the quest stuff, working on. So, the player eventually comes here, talks to her, and she discusses her plight. And she is doing some of the wash, and she is stressing over the fact that she has got so much work to do because so many adventurers come here to clean up and give her the laundry. So many citizens that come through here a day that she just cannot keep up with it. So she is discouraged that she's not going to be able to have enough time to run the laundry to the people who need it. So she sort of conscripts the players to do the gophering and running the clothes out to the NPCs. So I've got in my flowchart, I've got it set up to where there's a shirt that's going to go to like a stonemason. There's going to be like a cloak that has to go to one of the troubadours of the bard or where the Bard's Guild is, and then I have a guard near one of the gates to High Point Terrace. The players will go and deliver those, and then in doing so, the people who they deliver to will give the player their dirty laundry, and so she will have to bring the dirty laundry back to her. Um, Session says nice tips on quest for me to check out in the next test. Yeah, I'm gonna have this hopefully by the next time we test or next time you guys get a chance to game.
you
All the stuff
know,
I'm doing is not in alpha at this point. We have two environments, development environment. The only other than GMs and developers, the only person who does is my official tester, Flamali, who is with me tonight. Um,
ooh,
it plays my blind tester, who doesn't know anything about quest and stuff when we're doing stuff. So I can see where the holes are, and figure out where. Oh well, I wasn't descriptive enough in this test for this kind of thing. Chublini, how's it going? Justin Beer says already better than the laundry room at my apartment complex. We didn't have the power for a while. I'm so sorry. It may be a good idea if I can get Bill or one of the prop guys to make me some drying racks and maybe later on, of course, we'll need some dyeing vats. But maybe have just a prop that has like dirty clothes, because you got a clean pile and a dirty pile if you're a bachelor, right? It's just there's
um,
you.
it might be good if you had like a bag, but it was a laundry bin.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, when she gives you the quest, I decide I'm gonna have a small like 4 slot bag that handles like laundry. So she can give you that with the laundry, and you go and take that basket with you. And then when you gather the dirty laundry from the NPCs, then you'll take it back and then hand her the basket with it. I just think it works out better, and it's a small. It could be a small container to be used or whatnot.
Mm.
The chest are 2 piles of what? Piles of laundry, right? So like props. We just because like all people, I just know like some people put their clothes up, but like if you're a bachelor and you're living on your own, you have a clean pile and a dirty pile, right? It's like who's got time to fold laundry? Who's got the time for that?
None.
I mean, yeah, now everybody's busy working 2 or 3 jobs, right? Um, all right, so we're gonna head out this way. Do you know where the stonemason is? Where that is located?
Stone Mason, is it near the tannery?
That is correct. I'm gonna follow you.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have the items now. It's not like she's testing that. We're just gonna walk and see how long it takes to do this kind of thing. Sometimes it's just good to make sure that the path is clear. There's not going to be, any imperial entanglements. Now, the clothes that the player will be carrying, they'll be clothes like a shirt and a cloak and pants, and these things can be worn by the player. Part of the quest is what do you do if the player decides to steal the clothes? Right? That's not good. I mean, should they be allowed to steal the clothes? Is that yours?
Whose horse is that?
I don't know. Justin says, I have a gnome tinker together at a laundry machine. Chester says, I thought clean lived on the dryer and the dirty in front of it. Well, yeah, that works. Oh, I made some changes in here since last time you guys been here.
Yeah, it does look a little better.
Yeah.
Maybe the horse was a druid.
If y'all remember last time, there was like quadruplets of the NPCs were out here in the front. I changed some prop work around here, added some more stones and some scaffolding. Stonemasons over here to the left, and then I moved the tinkerers over this way. I did some work on the. It's actually getting kind of dark here, isn't it?
You have a little fire going at the stone area. Always, it'll have a little bit of light.
I may need to put some light sources over here. But you got Masonry Trainer Krolch, which is an ogre. He should have Masonry, trained you in Masonry. That's a new NPC in this area. He was not here originally. And then I've got the supplier, Arthas, the dwarf. Introduction to Masonry, Hammer and Chisel. You get closer, you can see the NPC. This will be the stone mason who will be accepting the shirt. Notice that he does not have a shirt. And all the rest of the guys have a shirt on now. So I'm going to check out the chat real quick. Justin says, I'm lucky to have power right now. 50,000 people, no power in my state. Oh no. Yeah, y'all got heat though, right? It's not like it's y'all no power in the cold, right? Stay warm, sir. Cool Jim says, good evening. How's it going? So I'm busy. Howdy, Nick. It's good to see you guys. Welcome to the stream. Zarson says, how do you guys come up with good sounding fantasy names? To be honest with you, all right, so for me, it's not as hard because I've been doing it for years and years and years. Unfortunately, I'm a serious geek. Been a dungeon master for over 40 years. So I'm used to going like, all right, I sort of know what I need. If you'll see this, I was just trying to create an ogre name. I was like, a crunchy sounding name, something that sounds gritty for somebody who works in stonemasonry. So Crouch just sounded right. And then Arthas for more someone who's a stonemason or an artificer, And then there's different ways you can do it if you need to. I'll say that like you can do like a Google, and if you're struggling, you're doing like names for your home game, tabletop game or whatever. There's lots of stuff online. You can Google, and there's people who've created like randomized names. The only problem is usually they do things where they'll make names that sound like J.R.R. Tolkienism. Like if you go look for elven names, you'll find it looks like it's always slanted to like an author or whatnot. So to get something that's like truly unique, sometimes you have to look at that and go like, yeah, I want a derivative of that, or I want something a little bit different, And but I mean, you try to make the names somewhat similar to the environment that they're at. I thought that Soden sounded pretty much more like it's something from the Middle East, right? And then there's one more over this way. Stonecutter supplier Selling, which was I just thought salesperson. I absolutely got that mustache because it sounded like somebody who was trying to make some money, right? Hey, no problem. I'm glad you asked. Thanks for the question. Yeah, but I mean, it comes with, for me, it comes with, because I've done it for years and years, and I've made lots of NPCs for tabletop games, so it's not as hard, but it's important that if you got to keep in mind the background of the character, and know that, oh, okay, well, this person comes from a desert territory, so maybe it'll have more of a more of a Middle Eastern kind of name, or I don't know if you've played D&D, the old Al-Qadim. There's a lot of good. If you go find an old reference book, sometimes you can find some good names, or you can make a derivative off that. And of course, Night Harbor is mostly Middle Eastern feel, so you'll see that people will have names that are similar. Oh, sorry about that.
I said hail, and he goes, "Hey, welcome, friend. If it's stone cutting knowledge you seek, look no further." I don't know, he just gives me Russian with that mustache.
I will tell you, I did not change the text on these guys. So this is the text that probably Sean. It was either Sean or Nick put these guys together. Now I changed their looks because what they were, the NPCs were placeholder. So they all were human, and they all had like a bluish tint and a standard merchant sort of apron on them. Let's see. Cool Jim says, I'm bad with vocabulary myself, but I sometimes make an effort to write down words when reading a book. Warhammer catches me a lot. Could be fun with names as well. Yeah, absolutely. And it's important. I will tell you one of the better things to do if you're running a tabletop game is that that if anybody who's ever run a game knows that there's going to be a point where you're going to need an NPC on the fly. The players are going to be like, hey, I need to step in this bar. Who's there? I need to talk to somebody. Or I need to go speak to the sheriff of the town. Or I need to go to the temple to speak to a cleric to get so-and-so rezzed, right? That stuff happens. And so it's always good to have like a list of names off the side that you've thought about ahead of time. You don't have to flesh it out completely. But you can say, well, we go to the bar and there's a halfling there. And the halfling has got we'll say he's got the Middle Eastern accent. His name is Afrit. He says, come into my establishment. Yes, good customer, right? And so you establish these things ahead of time so that when you need them on the fly, you got them. If you were to go to the temple, an elven temple may have the clergy there may be more stoic, right? So you can have High Templar Evernight, right? Who's dark and kind of a menacing man. And he says, I will raise your friend, but for a price, right? And so But you have this stuff like just sort of shorthand to the side. You have high tempo, Evernight over here, and then when during the game comes by, you just look over and go, oh, I go over here and maybe even have like number to the side of your character names. Like you have the 1 to 8 characters. Roll your d8, right, and then pull one randomly just to give it a little bit more chaos to your mechs. But you've already sort of determined what their motives are before you play, and just use them as you know. It doesn't necessarily have to, the Lord Evernight or Templar Evernight or High Scholar Evernight. His demeanor is the same. What his vocation is or what his role is in your campaign may change, but at the time when you do use the character, make a note beside that character. I use this already, and what they maybe what their class and or what their vocation is, right? So that later on after the session you can look back on your notes and go like, yeah, I need to flesh this one out now because he's been in the campaign now. All right. Otherwise, your players will call you out on stuff. Oh, that guy sounds like the dude we were over here. You mean the guy in the Templar is the same dude that's over here in the Wizard's Tower? That's strange. There's got to be something going on with that, right?
Yeah, he
And
has
then
2 jobs. You got to
it,
feed the kids.
is it the same guy? It doesn't seem like they know the same stuff. Something's going on here, right? And you unintentionally create this enigma that the players have to figure out, and you can just go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see.
What I like to do with random NPC interactions, they actually
Yeah.
have like a dice. You roll one, it gives you a random race, and you roll the other, it gives you a random class, and that's kind of makes things a bit like flavorful.
Yeah. Or the other thing I would say is like tavern names, right? Um,
Mm.
the for just for giggles, in Tolkien you had the prancing pony, right? But you can always have like the broken tankard or the sunken anchor, or if it's in a harbor area, or in so for Night Harbor, right? We've got the Shady Blue Mint, right, on one side, but when you go toward the north side near where the Red Mantles area is at, there's a tavern there. It's called the Scarlet Oasis, right? So you have a bunch of names set aside that you don't have to be trying to figure stuff up on the fly. I don't know how
Hmm.
many of you guys actually play like D&D and stuff on the side, or is it just are y'all mostly like just computer RPG players, MMO players?
You can play D&D online nowadays.
Yeah, I just don't know how many of our
So,
gamers actually do, play tabletop games as well. I'm assuming some of them do. All right, so selling here. Sarsa says I'm pretty much MMO only. Never got in D&D. Oh, you, it is a wonderful world. If you ever get a chance to sit down and play a tabletop game with someone, it will change your life. It did for me, but it's unlimited freedom if you find, but you got to find the right GM. Not everybody is cut out to be a dungeon master, right?
hmm.
So I will say that I play with people that are really good, and I play with people who are not, and it's okay. And it's more of and then, but I will say that a person who really knows what they're doing, who can keep the tempo of the game going, who can keep the action going, who can keep the players engaged with what's going on the table, that that is not a common thing. A lot of times,
Hmm.
most GMs will sit back and they'll wait for the player to tell them what they're doing. And it really, a good GM will wind up drawing the attention of the players. They will not be able to keep their eyes off what's going on.
A good way to kind of taste the waters of if you ever get the chance to get into a group, you could just let the GM know, hey, I just want to play one game. Is that okay? And make a one character for the session, and then during that, you can kind of get a taste of how the DM plays, what the players are like in that group.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, most times, a lot of a lot of groups, if you got like maybe less than 4 players, that they're really eager to have other people show up and play.
Mm-hmm.
And then most GMs are willing to teach people how to play. So it's not, there's a lot of rules to tabletop games, and it's not a it's not something you just sort of pick up and go one night. A lot of times, if you're going to play with some people, it's okay not to know the rules and like listen and say, hey, okay, what do I do
Mm-hmm.
here? Right? Most people are willing to help you out. These are
Mm-hmm.
the Tinkers over here. Tinkering supplier Vilsis. I worked hard on her clothing. It's actually during the night. I think my staff here is putting out green lights. Hard to tell what it looks like. Let me see who's all here. I don't want to mess anybody up if anyone else is testing. It looks like it's just us for tonight. So I'm gonna change it to 9 a.m. just so you can see the coloration of the player. See the all right. So I did like yellow with blue trim for the Tinkers, and then make sure they had like all types of patches or pouches and stuff. Because I would think Tinkers have to have pouches, right, for all the nuts and bolts and cogs and whatever else they need.
She says, "Hello yourself. Got a hankering for some tinkering? Let me help you with that."
There you go. See, and then over here we got Tinkering Trainer Bolsha with 2 daggers. I'm gonna go back to chat real quick. Look, see, Zarsa says I don't think I have the right demeanor for it. I just can't do role play in real life. For those who enjoy it, though, it looks like a lot of fun for them. I've seen it played before. Yeah, I mean, and not everybody does like to role play. I will say that as a GM, it's important to know what you're because all players when they sit at the table, not everybody has the same goal or the same wants and needs out of a game session. Mostly people want to game and have fun, right? And that's the number one rule is make sure everyone's having fun. And two, find out what people light up on. So like some people like combat. There are some people that love role playing. There are some people that just love doing puzzles. If I know that if you can do like a third here, a third of the combat, a third of the role playing, a third of the puzzle making. I would even say sometimes less because not everybody likes to do the puzzle stuff. That works out pretty well, and that way you sort of light up what everyone kind of wants to do. Some people are just in it for I want to kill the monster. Some people are like I just want to see what magic items I can come up with. Some people just like nuking a bunch of goblins with a fireball, right? I'm just saying it's sometimes it's a heroic fantasy, sometimes it's a power fantasy. But everybody when they sit at the table, they have wants and needs for that game session, and it's important as a GM to know what those are and make sure that you cater and satisfy the players as they're at the table. So when they're done, and if you do your job right as a dungeon master, and I've had this happen where people call you, 20 years down the road, and they go like, "Man, do you remember that night we were doing this thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I remember. I was there. Remember, I wasn't playing." And he's like, "Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. It was just, man, that was a great time. And I know so and so was having a good time because he was standing in his chair in the middle of combat." And I was like, "Yeah, I remember that." He was so
I
excited he couldn't sit still.
I suggest. So, of course, D&D doesn't have to be played in real life. It is a different experience than what you're gonna get online. But friends are friends, and gamers are gamers. You can find D&D through many different applications as well. If you want a suggestion, Roll20 is really good. Foundry is really good, but some people just play through Discord channels and just online through voice calls. It really just you have to find the right group. Yeah.
Oh, I missed somebody earlier. They were following Bart. 2741. Thank you for follow and Blurpfish. Thanks. Sorry, sometimes I get wrapped up in talking. I don't catch it. I apologize. I'm a horrible streamer.
Yeah, you
And it,
suck.
I know, right? This is horrible. I'm so bad at this. I fail miserably. I'm just curious if anybody feels a little like some deja vu right here. I'm just curious. Anybody? When you see this little scene up here? Does it remind you of anything? Joblin says, honestly, don't really roleplay. Just have some drinks, roll some dice, and fun kind of happens. Just like a good MMORPG. Yeah, absolutely. Sadman's. Thanks. I appreciate that.
So stylish.
Yeah, so stylish. Yeah. So,
You're just hopping.
I know,
You walk with a skip. You slay when you walk down.
It's because, yeah, I am the animation guys. They rigged it that way, so. So, like I said, I changed this whole area a little bit so it looks a little bit more like it doesn't look as quickly done, and sort of space people out a little bit and made it look like the old temple is a little under construction. There's other plans for this area, especially down this way I can't touch, and I've been told by Sean we may move these guys out to another place at some point. But for now, it works, and it worked. It's better than it was when we originally started this. All right, so this over here, Arthas, is our first guy. Looks like we got an ad break in about 3 minutes. We go to the second person. Now, the second person is going to be a lady by the name of, hang on. Laeth Karim Harim. And she is a part of the, she's a bard, a playwright, troubadour at the theater. Do you know where that's at?
That's the stage where y'all don't have throwable tomatoes.
Yeah. No. Not a bad idea, though.
I think it's great. I know people would probably take it away from the stage and you'd just be out randomly doing a quest and a tomato would be thrown.
That is definitely what will happen. You'll be in the middle of a huge fight, someone will show up and tomato the dragon or whatever. That is definitely what will happen. It's kind of like the Murphy's law of gaming. But I mean, I wouldn't mind having some sort of mechanic where you can throw tomatoes at people on the stage. Might even make for a good quest. All right, so here's the stage. She's not on here.
Maybe down the hole?
All right.
Or there's also an easier back area over here. Oh, what's the name of that lady you need to find?
Jaylith, I think.
Jaylith? Okay.
No, Laeth.
Laeth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like the fabric rack y'all made in there.
Isn't that cool? I think Bill put that in there. This is the dressing room. I don't know why there's an anchor in here, but there's an anchor in here. I guess props for the...
You just need an anchor sometimes when you get dressed, It's like a support anchor.
That's what it is.
Alright, I'm gonna walk downstairs and see.
Okay.
What I find down there. I haven't found her yet, Alayla's. Um, Buy a craft trainer. This isn't the area we need to be in. There's also a little spot down here. It's empty. I'm gonna double check just to make sure I didn't miss her.
Sandman says, "Streamer, you have nice eyes." Let's see.
Oh, there's an upstairs. I
What
didn't
do you
know there
think?
was an
Blue eyes?
upstairs.
That was done by Zucan. Blue eyes.
Sandman wants something from you.
Yeah, I guess so.
I found her. She was upstairs. I didn't know there was an
Awesome.
upstairs. Walked
All
right
right.
by the stairs.
So this is the second one.
Mm.
The dead inside Dev Eyes. Yeah, yeah. As a necromancer, you got the dead man's eyes. So this is our second NPC, and I will say that I'm going to have all the NPCs that you have to deliver stuff to. They're going to have routes. So she's going to be here, and I think she's going to be. I'm thinking I might have her
She
down.
got business to attend to.
I might
She
have her
got
out here
places
at
to
some
be.
point. Maybe out here on stage at some point. And then the other place would be like at the bar.
Mm. Maybe like if you interrupt her while she's playing on stage, she'll tell you like leave me alone or something. You have to actually wait till she's done.
Absolutely.
Can't
Rogue
you see
said
I'm
Rogue said go up the ladder earlier. Rogue saw it. I had tilted it the show kind of the viewers where she was at when you were.
ah.
All right. And all right. The other place is I can either use this bar over here, which is close to the, close to the theater, but far away for the other guys to make it. Right. But I don't know if there's anything else that's going on in here. There may be some other stuff in this little bar. Segment says armor shows up on skeleton zombies. Neat. Yep. I will say Bones is a higher level minion, but and I don't know if you've seen Zucan actually has done redo another pass on zombies. So like for all the races we have skeletal equivalents, and now we have zombie equivalents. So in theory, yeah, anything that you can fit on a human will fit on any of the skeletons or zombies. It's not like that for all the NPC models.
Mm.
Some of them, I think, like the Ashira's only got, if I remember correctly, I think Ashira can work. They can use weapons. They can use like the chest armor. I think they can have like backpacks too, but I don't think that like they do boots or anything for the Ashiras.
Mm. That makes
All right,
sense though. I feel like they'd be falling off, you know. They
all
need
right.
specialized boots.
The last NPC that we've got for the first part of this is a guard, and I have him at the gate next to High Point Terrace. You know how to get there?
Gate next to Highport Terrace. I don't know where that is, but I know
High
where all the gates are.
High Point Terrace is the where that dome is ahead,
Oh
right? It's
yeah.
not open to the public yet. It's still being worked on by. I think Bjorn's the one that's working on that area,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have it open up to the public right now. People know about
Okay.
it. It's been talked about on streams, but I just don't think that. And I mean, there is I think a couple of buildings there, mostly like embassies. I think there's one temple up that way. But the guard in question, he is in Salt Breeze Park, where the gate is to High Point Terrace.
I know where Salt Breeze is.
Okay, let's start there. Man, anybody got a few days left till the holiday? I think I got to be on site next week, only 2 days. Which is going to be good. But I've got to do a lot of remote work.
Man, I work the day before and after Christmas.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. What I get for working at a grocery store.
Yeah. But I've been there. You'll eventually it'll get better. I promise.
Ooh, a fishwife is like has a little bit of armor on now. Say
Yeah.
armor. She's got a little more clothes.
Well, fishwife is a tough business. But apparently she's making some good bank, right?
Yeah. Feel like you should give her the bass fish flops, the exact ones I'm talking about.
You,
It's the
you mean
slippers that are
the
little.
shoes with bass on it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that are literally the
No,
fish.
no, that would not pass. That would
No.
not pass. I could suggest that, but they'd be like, nope, no, we're not doing that.
We should make a petition, a
That would be a
community
hard
vote.
no.
Add bass slippers to Monsters and Memories.
All right, so look, you see the wall? That's High Point Terrace. And you got the Shaman's Guilds on this side, and the Ranger and the Druids Guild on this side. Cool Jim says +1 for bass slippers.
Well, you have to think of something it could help you do water-wise. So maybe it made you swim faster in the water or something. I only got
There
one
he
guard
is.
for this huge gate.
Guard Iskandar. That's him.
Look at the purple.
Looks good, don't it?
Yeah.
He's all set up. Does not have a weapon in his hand. I have to remember that.
Oh no.
And the headdress is not showing up.
That
The
means if
guard
I
gear.
attack him, it'll be like the One Punch anime.
Yes. But yeah, he's supposed to have his headpiece on. It's not a helmet. It's like what you see the other guards wearing.
Mm.
All right. But that's the last guy there. So you'll go to all three of the NPCs and you'll give them their pieces of garment: a shirt for the stonemason, a cloak for the troubadour, and a pair of pants, patrol pants for this guy right here. They'll both
Why
all of
isn't he
them handy.
pantsless?
That's not a bad idea.
I
I
mean,
just
the
didn't
other
think
guy
about
didn't
it.
have a shirt. Why is this guy pantsless?
It's not a bad idea. I may just do that and have it to where if you hand the cloak into the troubadour,
maybe,
she wears the cloak or something. That'd be kind of cool.
maybe
All right.
you could make him wear a towel robe on the bottom.
Has a robe on, and then you come up and give it to him, and he swaps out. Oh man, thanks. I appreciate that.
God, I needed that.
That would be funny. But they give you their laundry back, and I think let me go back here and look see real quick. I think let me give you the names of this. It's funny. So yeah, okay. So Arthas gives you his. It says the item is called Arthas's Dirty Laundry, and then Laylath gives you Layla's Soiled Stockings, and then Iskandar gives you Iskandar's Padded Loin Guard. And I figured just a little bit of cringe, you know what I mean? Like, here you go. So dirty laundry. Exactly. These heroes are going to work for this shirt they're getting. So we go back to the Wash Maiden, and I don't think the walk is too hard to go. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. He's going to be on guard here during the day, and at night he's going to go to one of the bars. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the. It's going to be either the bar that's right next to the theater, or it's going to be the bar that's got the Shady Dragon, or not Shady Dragon, the Shady Bloom Inn.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking I may do the Shady Bloom Inn because it would be easier for the NPCs to show up there, and players would be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Because that's not a normal occurrence.
Oh, I thought of something the other day. You could do if you really wanted. So you remember what we were talking about? You could like have if they went to this inn, their shirt or something would be slightly different than the shirt they would get from this inn.
Yeah,
So is there like a colder? This is a big town. Would you say like Northgate would be colder than Southgate? You can
probably not.
make the
Yeah.
inn up there have long sleeve versus the inn over here have short
No,
sleeve.
because it's regional. It's all supposed to be like
Mm-hmm.
desert out here.
Oh no.
But I will say we're supposed to have at some point colder climate zones or whatnot. Oh, going back. Yep, there it is. Take a left here. You got to turn around. And you come all the way back here and talk to her. And you'll give her all the dirty laundry in the basket. And then she will talk to you about, I really appreciate this, give you some coin, right, for doing the job. And then, which, I mean, it won't be a whole lot to where, someone will go and redo this quest a million times and make a ton of money off of it.
Mm.
But after which she'll say, I'll do you a solid. There is a tailor, it's actually two tailors, across town, and I've got like a crude silk sort of consignment that I can like a redemption coupon. And so she will hand that to the player, and the player can go to either one of the tailors. One tailor, of course, is over here in the night market. The other tailor is in the near the Sage side. So if you go to the one that's over here by the night market, she'll make you a shirt, and the one that's over towards Sage side, of course, will make a robe because there's mostly wizards over there. So that kind of works out. So you can, by choosing which one you go to, it starts you on that different part of the quest.
There's men in here.
No, they're bathers. Are they naked? What's going on with that? Oh, they still got their undies on.
Yeah, they got their underwears.
All right, so we'll head out this way. Now let's just say let's go to the one over here, night market first.
Mm-hmm.
The player will go this way into night market. And then over this way. And then the tailor's over this way. I think I've already changed her around a little bit. I didn't change her environment because I think they've done really well in here. This looks like a tailor cloth weaver sort of shop.
Well, the potions are cute.
Mm-hmm. Those, for dyeing, right?
Yeah.
Minor stuff. But I changed her name. She used to just be called Tailoring Trainer, or Tailor Trainer. I changed it to Nora. I think she's still does the trainer. And chat, if you got questions and stuff while we're doing all this stuff, go ahead and ask. But otherwise, I'm just going to talk all night. And maybe let my daughter talk every once in a while. So you'll come here and you'll give her the voucher or coupon. All right? And then she will tell you, that's great, but I need X amount of stuff. And we have decided in the flowchart, let me look back at the flowchart real quick. Chad decided last time we did it, we did this, that instead of going just to one tailor and having two items they need to get, that there would be two different paths. for her path, she would need some a particular silk. The thing is, players can go and get silk anywhere. You could go buy it if you wanted to. Tsunami-san, can you put her title below her name like the guild tag is? Um, I could, yes. And the thing is, the reason why it's set up the way it is now is because there's a particular way that they're doing their titles. Um, and I don't think it's solid yet. I think that they've been considering different ways of doing it. So I just put it up here as sort of placeholder until it goes through a pass. Um, like if you go to the bank, there's always like there's banker Mula or guard so and so. So I usually put the title in front of the name just to make it easier. And then if a NPC has a last name, usually doesn't have a title in front of it. So anytime you find somebody that's actually got a title like trainer or tailor, uh, usually it's only going to be the first name. Is what I've been doing. There is actually documentation on it, but like I said, I don't. I've heard like Sean and Nick talk about maybe it's going to go one way or the other. So I feel like this is the way they're going to kind of stick to it, but I'm I do. I mean, if there's some titles that could be pretty long, and I don't see why they wouldn't put it underneath the regular name. And if that's the case, then you'd have room for a last name. But I always told, as I'm making NPCs, to try to be mindful about how long they are and not have huge names. In this case, she's the only one in here. I don't think that the name sort of blocks others and doesn't really get confusing looking. We're trying to be more simplistic. Um, I mean, like try to be more simple elegance to the way the UI is, and um, I don't know if you had a chance to play in one of the playtests or whatnot, but like when you cast spells, all right, um, I'm gonna fizzle. It's funny, fizzle. Come on, there we go. The other day I had to set myself back to fourth level to do a quest. I forgot to change it back.
Ah!
Um, but that right there that you saw that spell effect is probably like one of the more grand spell effects. Um, I I do like the fact because like I watch a lot of games and I'm not gonna call out games names or whatnot, and I don't think what they're doing is wrong. I think it's just a different way that they want to do it. But I love the fact that our game is not more like a casino, I guess. Because what gets me is like if you walk into a casino and you got all these lights and and sounds, and it just overwhelms your senses. And then when I watch some games nowadays, it feels like there's a lot of FX going on. There's a lot of different sounds playing at the same time. Usually, when you're hitting an enemy, that you got like it looks like a slot machine. You got numbers just scrolling up, right? Or 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, and it's all to to me that's supposed to please the player, and make them feel like they're doing stuff. But you can do that in a simpler way, and I feel like it makes it more it grounds you more into the game is what I'm trying to say. Um, let's see. Stormy Sun says Caster's Life. Yeah, I played Elementalist tonight. Yep, yeah. But like I said, that when you see a spell go off, it feels to me it feels a little bit more meaningful. There we had some spells that were like way overdoing it, like the bard spells. We just everybody would just like glow and stuff, and I think they've been working on that. And I would like to see me. This is me a personal thing. I don't know if the rest of the team agrees with this, but I'd love to see effects grow over time. Like if you cast a life tap spell, it only does like a little wisp of something to the enemy, and it comes back, as a siphoning of life. But when you get to be, 60th level and you do a life tap, it should look grand, right? You should look like you've mastered that art, right?
So you're saying that making spells that you would learn at level 5 still important, still valuable at level like
Mm-hmm.
40. It'd be
Well,
still be worth the having your bar.
Yeah, a lot of the spell. I mean, there's some spells that are like one-offs. Like Animate Ally. I'm just thinking
Mhm.
about as far as like a Necromancer, where there's not a whole lot of. You get it at a certain level and then that's it, right? But then there's the life tap spell, which you get like almost every time that you get to a cast spell level. You get it 4, you get it first level, you get it 8th level, you get 12th level, and those are good. I'd just like to say that as you get better at it, I'd like to see a visual change in the effects, and all the effects that we've got currently was done by Zucan. That's correct, Tsunami-san. Well, we've got other people on the FX or who are doing FX now, who are planning out how these spell effects work and stuff. And I'd love to be able to see it, like I said, become more impactful and more predominant the farther along you go. And as far as like the fighter side, I mean, you look at it like, well, he's just swinging a weapon. I would love to see like the animations get more heroic, more like you don't just slam the hammer down. You do this Superman slam down. When you really mastered it at this point. And I mean that's just and that's me just talking. That's not like an official thing. But I do feel like the player will get more out of it as time goes on if they feel like, oh well, yeah, I've been using this technique and now I've really gotten to where I can. It looks like I have mastered this. Not only is the damage I do when I slam this two-handed maul down, right? I can actually see the enemy, get flattened under the weight of the mallet, right? Kind of got that Mario thing with, little puff clouds as you hit somebody or whatever. So it says, what about things like lay on hands? I mean, yeah, I mean that too. Any spell effect, right? Should and I mean I do like the simplistic of the FX. I don't think it's overpowering. I don't think it feels like a slot machine casino. And I mean it just like I said, just it feels like it flows good. And I am a fan more of the keep it simple, and not overdo it. I feel like it just adds to the game.
Do
And then
you think it
and
would do you think it would be better if you made maybe a thing like a slidey bar in the options to make it whether if the player wants it to be all pizzazzy, they can scroll it all the way up or scroll
that's a
down
that's a
if
very good
they think
point.
it's too much.
I I think maybe at some point as time permits with we've got a lot of on the team now. Really starting to grow. I think we're up to
Mm-hmm.
41 or 42, and it's just to me that just blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
We've got so many people, and like we're all volunteer. I think only like Sean's full time. Of course, he's one of the owners, the founders. What they say. Uh, and Nick's a founder too. He's been working full time since last year. Uh, I think Ollie's the only one that's the founder that still works full time job
Mm-hmm.
outside of Eminem. But like I said, everyone else has got work they're doing on the side besides Eminem, right? And it just and everyone's got a passion. There's times I wish I could just remove the veil and let you guys see how people work, like in Slack and stuff. It's impressive. I wish my day job worked sort of like this team does. But I think what it is just everyone's got knows the vision and wants to execute it, and
Mm-hmm.
and they have a love for this game. I mean, it's named right too. Monsters and Memories, like it harkens back, and it's sort of what we liked. I love that it harkens not only like on EverQuest, but like on D&D and just years and years of RPGs of different types, Final Fantasy, little bits of World of Warcraft, just all of them, RuneScape, Ultima Online, all of it, Asheron's Call. Somebody says Barn Luck says you level so you can scale it up, but a level 1 can't access the best effect. That sounds good. I mean, that sounds like a good idea. It like as I'm looking at it and the amount of work we've got to do, I feel like what they would do is they'd stick to one system first, and then as as they start to go in EA, and as we start figuring out whether or not how much how much the love we have for this game outside of our team, then they may start assigning resources to do these extra stuff that you're talking about. Maybe go, oh well, there's a need there for having the slider for effects. We can put we can sort of put encrypt on that with it, with a couple of FX guys and let them do that, right? But for
Here's
now,
a
we've got a real well defined path all the way up to EA, and it's so defined that like I'm absolutely scared to ask somebody, hey, I got this need for this quest I'm working on. I know that wasn't in the original document, but in order for this quest to work for this mud action, I've got to have like a door here, right? And so I have to go back and say, is it, look at Sean, I'm like, hey, are you okay with me asking for this asset? And he's like, most of the time he's like, yeah, go ahead. But anything that's like, hey, I need this, dragon demon, right? And then Zuko gonna be like, whoa, we've got a whole lot of characters we got to finish. So it's I don't want to overstep. I don't want to ask for too much kind of thing. I'm always real cautious what I ask. And then on top of that, when it looks like I got a break in about 3 minutes. One of the important things to do as a designer is be mindful of the assets that you have, and things that you see that you're like, well, if I gotta have a modification, let me see if I've got something similar. Right? I need a salt elemental. Well, we have elementals. Let's see, can we put a skin on it instead and use that model? And that cuts your time down. I need a bookcase. Do we have a book? Okay, I can build this prefab using this book, and I'll just change the size of the book and maybe the colors of it. Now look, I got a bookcase. That kind of thing. Trying to reuse assets over. I'm trying to be mindful where there's not brand new assets being made every day.
So when you think about stuff like in the option menu that the player can control, do you think it'd be too far-fetched? And this is something they were doing in games just recently. They'll have an arachnophobia mode where anything that's a spider in the game, their model will be changed to something that's not a spider.
That's a good question. I know we're doing some stuff for accessibility. Oh, and I just noticed over here, Vegas the Great. Thank you for the follow. I failed again, Jenna. I am not really good at catching these. I apologize. So you do have a point with the arachnophobia or whatnot. I don't know if. I mean, we should definitely be mindful of it. I don't know if it'll be like immediate, but I could see that being at some point being brought up. I don't know how many players you get, because you look and you go like, well, how many people got arachnophobia? Like, and how long would it take to implement that, right? And right now, like the time and resources is we don't have a bunch of that, and in our budget, it's like the budget for the game is online. Anybody can see that, so exactly what we're working for or what we're working with, and that's all handled by the founders too. So, I know that like we got stuff working for like color blindness. One of the team members does have color blindness, so they've been helping out, making sure that we're good.
Not putting too many colors that look similar together.
Yeah, just making sure it doesn't look confusing at times. But I mean, as time goes on, a lot of the accessibility stuff usually gets added toward the end of a game. Mostly because it's like, well, first you have a game before you decide to make derivatives or changes. You know what I mean? It's kind of that kind of thing. Uh, Cool Jim says it's one of those features you would be awesome, but it does take time. Yes, yeah. I mean, and the right thing to do is to be like, oh well, yeah. There's a phobia for this, but also there's a ton of phobias too. So that would be a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, there you could have like clownophobia or whatnot. And as soon as a person sees a clown at the stage in Night Harbor, you'd be like, ah, and what do you do? I don't know. I mean, and I know the clown thing is real. I've
Yeah, you
had
just
people
pay
tell me
somebody to slay the clown, and then you can go up there and you have what's the time limit before they respawn? Like 5 to 10 minutes?
depends. Depends.
They just start walking back to their spawn. Ah!
Stomach says actually that team member is streaming right now as well. Yep, that is correct, Stomach. Cool Jim Twitch says like similar but different dealing with skulls if you wanted to release in a Chinese market. Maybe someday, but get it out the door first. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know there was a thing with the skulls in Chinese market. But I mean that's because I've just lived in a small town all my life, kind of thing. Oh, sorry about
You
the
got an
ad
ad
break.
break going on.
All right, so let me get my coffee real quick.
So
Are you
while the
drinking
ad
coffee
break's
tonight?
going on, I don't got a coffee. I was thinking about getting one though.
I keep
While the
watching
ad
like
break's going on,
Nick
we'll
keeps
spill
drinking this
beans.
Kirkland's coffee, and I need to try it. But I mean, I don't have a Costco near me, right? I'll have to order it
Uh,
online.
it's pretty good. I just like it because the Costco and the Kirkland's brand, you just get so much for the price. It's even if it tasted kind of like it's a good deal, you know.
So Kirkland's is the Costco brand, or is it that Kirkland's
It's
is
the
just
cost.
sold by Costco?
It's the Costco brand. It's pretty much like Great Value is to Walmart.
Okay. Well, I am
Uh,
definitely going to try it some because I just got to know because I mean I see him all the time. He's got it. That and I like coffee. I mean I drink way too much coffee.
Highly suggest shopping at Costco if you got one near you. There's a couple of things I've bought for my house I'll probably never have to buy again. Example, aluminum foil. I have yards of aluminum foil because I bought a $25 roll of it, and I don't think I'll ever need any more.
Wow.
Um, you get stuff like that in the bulk, stuff you wouldn't think about, but
Mm-hmm.
that you buy a lot and you're saving money, you know?
Yeah, I don't think there is a Costco like there may be one like 100 miles from me, but that's way too
Mm-hmm.
far to be going for a grocery store. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One day maybe. I mean, we're finally getting a Canes where I'm at.
So good.
Well, I'm waiting for the Magoo's. I enjoyed that time we went to Magoo's. What was that in Greenville back in the day?
Human goose is really good. It really
Mm-hmm.
just depends on the spot for those I've found, because some places are like they don't really care too much, but some places, as long as they do everything right, it's good food. You know, the recipe's
Yeah.
good.
All right. So back to the quest. All right, so we come here and she's gonna put together the shirt for us. It's gonna be called, at the very end of this, it's gonna be called a. Make sure it's crude. I gotta look this up. Yeah, it's gonna be called a. It's gonna be whatever the color of the player decides. It's gonna be called either a crude robe or a crude shirt. But she is gonna, and when you finish her piece, she's gonna hand you something called a dusty crude silk shirt. All right. So what she asks you is that she needs I need the specific silk, and what I was trying to say earlier was that you can get silk from any spiders and any of the zones here, but the thing is, in order for the quest to be unique, I need to have a specific kind of silk, and I don't need it to be. I don't want it to mesh with anything that has to do with trade skills because Rift and them are working with that. I don't want to jump in their lane, but I do want to have it where the player can go get some stuff. They can bring it to the tailor, and the tailor can make the item for them. So she says, "Hey, I need this basically crude silk, which is made out of cobwebs, right?" And the player will ask him, "Hey, well, where do I get cobwebs at?" And I said, "Well, I know along the harbor area, there's this old rundown warehouse or whatnot. I've noticed that people have been talking about there's been spiders, seen in that area and whatnot." So she tells you, "Go check this place out." So we're gonna walk out of here,
All right.
and then we'll go down to where the harbor's at.
I haven't seen spiders in the city before, so I haven't been here yet.
Yeah, I haven't put the spiders in yet. Well,
Oh.
I gotta go this way. Watch out for the beggars.
What? They just want your money.
That's right. I'm just saying it's
I will
night.
say, this spot right here is dangerous, though.
It is. All right, so we need to get down from here.
Would jump?
Yeah.
Did you get hurt?
I don't get hurt because I'm in GM mode right now.
Just slide on this wall.
There you go. That work?
Yeah.
Good deal. And I have gotten permission from Sean. And Bones took the long way around.
Bones walked around.
But I asked him, I said, I really need a spot that's like down here by the wharf. I know they've been putting in player housing, right? So like each one of these doors, I can click on the door. It tells me this is static ID 452 or 432, right? And as a GM, I can unlock any door, right? But the player will have to have a key to be able to get their own place. So you walk in, and then there's like little spots, right? This is not a bad size room for this, right? But the plan would be, I'll go with the next one. Over here, this would be like the warehouse, we'll call it. But he's giving me one of these little spots to work with for this quest.
I don't know if it's important, but you can jump through the window on this one.
Which one? This one?
The one we were just in.
Oh no, I'm not going there. I want it to be enclosed. My thought is, this whole room here will be. Thanks for follow, Shaky Flow, right? Yeah, Shaky Flow. My thought would be is I would put the door would be closed, and you would get to use a mud action like to open it. To look at it or whatnot. Inspect it, get some information, and eventually figure out which mud action you need to be able to open it up. I don't want the player to have to use a key for that, right? And then when you're in here, there'll be webs everywhere, and I'll have a couple of spawns of spiders, right, in different spots. But I had also thought, it's funny you mentioned arachnophobia earlier, but I had thought about maybe it would be a good idea to have webs above you, like cobwebs in the corners, and have the spawns up off the floor, so when they spawn in, they fall to the ground.
That'd be great. Another good idea you could do if you wanted to like lead on to another quest, is you could have like leaning from the ceiling like a skeleton wrapped up with cobweb, and maybe like a note on it labeling who it is, and you can go talk to maybe a guard and get a quest about someone who died. I don't know, murder.
Are y'all missing anyway? Maybe something.
Or you just tell the tale of how this place got spider infested with
Yeah,
that.
I mean that's a good idea to try to tell lore through the story there. Vegas the Great says, has anyone on the team ever thrown out a suggestion for a server with LLM chat enabled for additional flavor or role play? Always thought an MMO like EverQuest for this, which mostly takes itself seriously, would be great use for LLMs in games. Not for everyone, sure, but would be cool to immerse yourself in a world on top of the handcrafted world that's already there. Could store memories for NPCs on a player UI. LM would get access to the player faction standing immediately. I will tell you that AI has come up, and I will say that for the most part, uh, in our game, that it's going to be a no. The fact is that even even like the art. I mean, we on the Discord, a lot of the players like to use like the AI art stuff. But and I would suggest if you're going to use it, don't put it in the don't put it in the art channel. Um, but I will say a lot of the artists here are a little sensitive to the AI stuff. Um, it's just it's controversial. I can see uses for large language models in my day job. I mean, they've got two at my workplace at my day job to handle repetitive tasks, right? But I would also say that the important anything I've ever seen done AI that handcrafted or hand curated is always better. You generally, if I put two instances in front of you of some that I'll just say art, something artistic in front of you, you can look at those two things and tell which one is AI generated. And I don't think, even though you save money and time on the LLM stuff, I don't know. I just don't know if that's going to really generate value. And I can understand why you would be like, oh well, that's just the chat, right? It will be just dynamic chat, but then you lose sort of the guardrails on that too. So you could have an instance where the AI completely goes out of left field and talks about something that's not related to the game at all, right? And then where are you at, right? So it's interesting. I think that as time goes on, maybe it will get better and better and better. But I also think that as I've seen stuff with large language models and AI up to this point, and I always tell people, like in my day job, I say, AI is really good at thinking inside the box. It's good at taking whatever that large model is, and it can make derivatives off of that. But it can't really make anything creative because it doesn't know when. Artists know how to do something by the rules, and then really great artists know how to bend and break those rules when they need to. And AI doesn't do that. Does that make sense? I hope I said that right. But as far as like an M&M, it's very much not going to. It's going to be more. It's going to be a lot more curated. It's made with love, and I will say that anything that we put in the game, everything has checks and balances. It's not just like I know someone said something about the other day is like Nick was putting abilities and stuff on the fly during a stream, but I mean that's what he does. He's like the creation point, and then it goes through a process of being checked, and then we've got people on the team who do balance stuff like Runoff, Joseph, who go back and they check numbers and stuff. Even when I do stuff, I create items all the time. I know when I first put it out there, someone's going to come back and go, oh, no, that's too powerful. Or what were you thinking that I don't know why anybody at 10th level would want this 4th level item or whatnot. So there's always back and forth, and that's good. I think it's important that it's when I don't want the items to be generic or normalized. Sometimes I think that you have the outliers that make it really good, but I do think that it's important to have more than one set of eyes on any given part of the game. And like with like Zukin and ZBrush, they work together in tandem, and they talk off and they ping off of each other as they're working. It's like that with a lot of designers. Chinny and Simon work together. I work with Lasava to do the questing on my end. So there's more than, like I said, there's more than one person. And then you have a lot of people like checkers, like John, who's constantly, he works nonstop at finding bugs and stuff, and he covers so many different hats. Uh, let's see. I keep going off and around. Apologize.
Yeah.
Vegas says totally get that. It would be more just for flavor, talking to NPCs. Yeah, I feel like AI is not to the point where you could just let it go and it will be just fine. There will be a derivative which will go off the track and talk outside of the bounds of the game. All right. One day maybe. I don't know. Stomach says, yeah, AI sound around Goblin. You'll get torches. Yeah, Goblin's one of the more vocal ones about it. But I don't feel like, I never feel like AI will ever be able to replace human creativity. I just don't think it'd be the same to me. It's the same thing as Carl Sagan one time had a talk where he talked about the differences between a two-dimensional and three-dimensional world, and like a creature that lives in a two-dimensional world would never know what the third dimension is. It's huge. It's a really good conversation, but like I said, that box in that case is that two-dimensional world, and we live in a 3D world. So the thing is that you can only think inside that 2D world kind of thing. I just think that's a limitation. It would be interesting if it ever gets to the point where AI can reach outside the box. That will be truly something. But everything I've read and seen from like these guys at Google or whatnot, and they're like, well, we're hitting the limits of this. And in some cases, like the AI stuff is good. I don't feel like, and I don't feel like it's good for like. There's times when it because it uses such a large data set that the stuff it gives you has to be fact checked, or you have to look at it, and it may not tell you the truth, right? So, to me, I just like I said, it's not unreliable at this point. I guess is the best way to put that.
I also overheard that apparently Expedition is getting some fire under them right now because they found the traces of AI in their game somehow. And they're getting fire, of course, because they've won like the art award this year.
Yeah, man, I hate that. I thought they did a really good job. I didn't get to play that game, and we did that whole stream where we talked about the VGA awards and stuff. I did not realize they were going to sweep like they did, but man, they took like almost every. I think those guys at Larian, right, the Baldur's Gate 3 guys, I think they came back to pick up the one trophy that they missed the year before.
They missed.
I think that's what happened. Let me go back here and look at the chat real quick. Somebody says AI always looks similar to the next image. Yes. And yeah, the image stuff always looks, you like I said, you could tell because you see it everywhere. And people call it like AI slop. I don't know if the word slop is good. I mean, I hear like friend slop games and AI slop. It just seems like it's the term for the year, you know. But I'm just saying it has a distinctive style that doesn't deviate outside the style. It can, to me when I see like if you asked AI to do like a fantasy picture, it's going to look at stuff that John Howe did for Tolkien. It's going to look for stuff that like the Hildebrand brothers did. It's going to look, and then it's going to try to create something in that sort of frame, but it won't be its own style.
No.
Vegas says, yes, I agree. That would be a big challenge. Sure thing. I was just curious. Stormy Sun says, okay, who do I kick for the Unity changes? The person you want to talk to about abilities and spells. That would be Nick. Nick's usually the focal point for anything with that. When I have to create a special spell or whatnot for an NPC, I'll usually like put out a framework of what I'm looking for, and then I'll ask Nick to go over it, make sure it jives with the rest of the with the rest of the spells and abilities, so it's not too far. It's not out overbalanced, and it fits neatly within the framework he's already established. Um, AI is a tool in our place. Yeah, AI is definitely a tool.
I
And
do wish things that AI affects my daily life. I example when I'm doing like something D&D wise and I want to find some cool art for a character. But I don't want an AI or, I just want regular art. I wish Google had like a switch that would turn off all the AI, or turn it on, whether you want that or not. Because it's now the AI is out, it's so hard just to find a regular person's art on Google Photos of what you want.
yeah, that's an unintended consequence of having the AI now
Hmm.
that it's so easily available to get, right?
Hmm.
So it's gonna, for every unique creative piece of work out there, you're gonna have, 50 AI versions of whatever it is.
Hmm.
So I couldn't imagine how this is gonna impact something like, what was it, Etsy's that, and at the website they were people who are doing creative stuff at the house or whatnot, on their, like small businesses, mom and pop businesses.
Hmm.
Lisa, hey, how you doing? We're going over like the laundry day quest and just talking about just everything.
Yeah.
We definitely ride off the rails all the time here. Um, let's see. Vegas Cigarette says good talk. I remember it. Probably the Carl Sagan comment earlier. Yeah, I will say it was a very good conversation and explained dimensional space, or dimensions in a good way. So this would be the area for the spiders. And then I was also thinking that it would be good to use that same warehouse for the other tailor as well. Let's go back to the other tailor. So you come here and get your silks, and then go back to the tailor, the shirt tailor, or you go up Sage Side, which is where I'm going now. And talk to, I'm trying to remember her name. Is it Mira? Is that right?
Faith says, "How'd your
Yeah.
skelly peg get a life jacket?"
He saved up his points. That's what it was. It's got his flight mileage.
He can't swim.
No, he can't
It's
swim
kind
in
of
that
like
armor.
it's kind of like Red Dead 1 where he just disappears when he touches water and he's dead.
I can't lose Bones. I I have to keep him close to me. He doesn't do too well when he's on his own. I tell you, every time I come through here and I see different textures and stuff the guys have been working on, it's absolutely beautiful. I always see something new.
um, Lisa says, Bones is a special guy. They don't want to lose him. I don't know
Yeah.
why my brain immediately went to like leash kids, but I think people would like do kinky stuff with that if y'all made leashes in the game.
I I have no doubt if there is a way to make it into a thing, it will be a thing. I have no doubt.
I was like, oh, we could just make a little leash for your little bones guy, but no,
Yeah,
people turn that into a kink.
yeah. I had to learn. There's actually a term in gaming called leashing, and
Oh,
what it means is as you like, if you pull a mob, All right, and as you run away, it runs with you. But there's a point to where the mob gives up on you and goes back to where its starting position is, and that's called leashing.
Mm. I guess says, does the team still need / want any volunteer designers? If so, what would be the channel to reach out on this? Absolutely love this project.
Oh, I will say if you're interested in the project, that generally, just in general, when they have a position open, they'll post it in the Discord. I do believe it. It's been a while since I've looked out that way. Jenny, can you look see on Discord if there's any positions open currently? I know that recently there was a position filled up. But I will also say that if you have like say for instance, if you're an artist, a concept artist, I'm gonna use that as an example, and and you're like, well, I don't see a position open, but they may be interested in one. Then it would always be best to either ping either Sean as far as that kind of stuff or Nick, because both Sean and Nick are considered designers. Ollie handles all the back end stuff and programming development. So if it's creative, it would probably need to go to Sean or Nick, and they do respond to their DMs in Discord. But just keep in mind if you don't hear something immediately, that it does take a while to get through it, because like Nick was handling all the alpha codes, right? And then the thing is that after that, his mailbox became full for like weeks. Arthax, how's it going, man? It's good to see
Did
you.
you say there was a specific spot in the Discord where you can look
Yeah,
and
it
see if
usually
there's...
says like positions open or something. It's like up toward the top where the announcements and stuff are at.
Let me see.
Someone says Murphy's Law of video gaming. If they can do it, they will do it. Yes, that is very true. Vex says, thanks for tips. I'll keep an eye on the positions. Yeah, I mean, and like all types of stuff comes up. They've had people for video editing, things I wouldn't normally think. We've had, we've got a lawyer on the team now, which I mean, that was one of the first things I had to have, of course, being a. Oh, thanks, Lisa. She says open roles, apparently environment artist and a GM.
Nice. Okay. I was looking
For
so hard.
yeah. For clarity, GM in this manner doesn't mean general manager. It means game master, basically. Someone in the game actually dealing with the players and working through issues as they come online. For the most part, we've got two gentlemen now who are doing the GM roles, but also a lot of the developers step in during like the playtest and all to help out. I will say Lisa does really good at closing stuff. I think it's a race between Trent, Lisa, and Swanee. Probably does the majority of all the lately all the open tickets. This last playtest, I had to work the day job a lot, so I couldn't help out as much. And that is a tough job.
Customer service, but video game flavored.
I love you guys too, as we know. Y'all are great. Y'all are great. Oh, all right. So we're gonna go back over here to the tailor, and in this area, the tailor is. I'm trying to remember.
We can read the sign.
Absolutely. I'm with you, Lisa. I mean, the more they can cover, the more implementation we get done. Is the tailor here?
Has to be one of these doors.
General goods. This looks
leatherworking.
Used armor.
Over here to the left, there's a little rack.
Aha. Yeah, Mira is the one we're looking for. So
Oh,
she will be. You have the master tailor here, but I thought, well, the master tailor wouldn't want to be making like crude silk for roby
yeah.
NPCs. So Mira is going to be the one making the robes. All
Hmm.
right, so you would come to her, and then she will tell you instead of I take it back. She'll also need the crude webs, but she's also going to be needing an item that you have to find. Uh, Probably like a thimble or a needle. And so what I want to do is I want to create a room where it has a bunch of like furniture and stuff or places that you inspect and look. And I'm going to rotate and move around the item and let the player get through maybe a 3 or 4 level deep mud actions to figure out where the item is at. All the while being in a spot where you'll have spiders popping up here and there. That's my
Oh.
idea for that. So it keeps them, it gives them something action wise to deal with, and in the downtime they can be looking around for this lucky thimble or needle. They get these parts, and they come back to the seamstress, and they make for them basically a what was it, a dusty crude silk either robe or shirt, and then you take it back to the wash lady, and then she will tell you, hey, that's great, now you need to go dye it whatever color you need to do, and then she'll send you to the what do they call it, what was the word for that, get on my flowchart. She will send you to the scullery maidens, and the scullery maidens will be working on like next to the ocean with vats of dye, and you'll be able to work with them. I don't want to keep people on too long, but the idea being is that you probably do a process where you wash your own dusty garment through a process and eventually dye it in the vat that you want, dry it, and then it's yours. You can wear it, and the you can either like I said, you have the robe or you can have the shirt, and it will be in the colors of, you can choose between black, blue, green, red, orange, I think white and yellow. So they're mostly like the warm colors of the city. Looking back on the list here, Lisa says, I haven't done petitions in a while though. Trent and Tam cover it well now. I can focus elsewhere. Yeah, I think I went over this already. Yep. Yeah, they are good, and I I'm very thankful they are helping us because the playtest they got to be, man, I got so tired on playtest.
Oh, I don't know if you saw this. Rogue says, "Are there any new zones off of Evershade you can show us that will be available for EA?"
New zones off Evershade. The only ones currently is Keeper's Bite, and let's see. I think that's the only one that's directly off of Evershade at this point. I know that it won't be the only one in the future, but I think that probably for EA it's only going to be the Keeper's Bite. I know that you've got, for that area, you've got Evershade Wheel, you've got Faelindral, which is the city above. Um, there's an area above that that is still being worked on, mostly player housing in that area by Bilth and them. And then you've got Scarwood, and I think that is where that's where it's going to stop before EA, and there'll be stuff beyond that at some point.
Faith
Did it?
says, "Ooh, you reminded me when you said you do back end stuff. Any updates on server slash game performance? I know you guys onboarded a new engineer and made some good gains for November test. But as a fellow tech nerd, would love to see some insights into any other optimizations you guys have made."
Yeah, I don't. I'm not privy to the discussions on the optimization. That's going to have to be Ollie and his team, or the programmers, Chip and John, and I'm trying to think who else. But yeah, I couldn't tell you specifically. And I will tell you that I do know I've asked questions in the past about when I was not actually developing, when I was actually just watching the stream with Sean. But the programming side of the house is hard to do to do streaming with. All right.
Sorry. I was laughing at this guy's question. Too soon. Does player housing and Fae come with a parachute?
It should, right? It should. Probably not, but it should. Yeah. I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to see the how the housing is received. Um, let's see. Fizzywick says, how long does it take to create a quest of this complexity, like the one you're describing, from idea to being an alpha? Um, I would say. So the one I've done recently, maybe worked on the outline with on stream. I did like a basic idea, and then it took me like maybe 10 minutes, and then get on the stream and then walk through major points with the viewers. And I think it was about an hour. Was that about right, Jenna? Do you remember that, or were
An
you there
hour
for that one?
for.
Were you here for that one, or was that on me on my own? It may have been me by myself, but about an hour, right, to go through it, and then it only took me like I'll maybe put like 3 hours into it right now for this, and I look at it, and it'll probably take me about another 9 hours to finish it. But like the quests I'm normally doing for like in Evershay Wheel, usually like Leesville writes them up, and then I'll implement as we go. Um, and then like I'll do quests on occasion, but I haven't done any of the class quests yet on my own. And when I implement one of the class quest, and those have 3 parts to them, so maybe a part would take me about 2 or 3 days, tops. And keep in mind, I have a full time job too, so this is like in my evenings for about maybe 4 to 6 hours a piece.
I have a housing request that y'all make possible. If I get a house in Faelindral, I
Okay.
request a slide, a tube slide that goes all the way down.
That's like
and then and then you can have players try to climb up it, but if somebody slides down, the players all like hit each other and go back down.
that's funny. Let's see. Arthak says express elevator for uninvited guests for sure. Yeah, it would be nice to have like a trap door in your house, right? Just click. It's kind of like was it Austin Powers or whatnot? They had like the chairs that went back. Um, Fizwick says not bad. You're faster than Blizzard. I don't know about that. I mean, we do work pretty quick, but also one of the benefits of having like the low polygon like art, and you know the way we do the quest. I mean, it's more mud actions, and it's more. I mean, uh, you know, there's not a whole lot of effects we got to go with. There's some stuff that has to be programmed. I will say the storybook quest I did recently. There's a lot of mechanics behind that one, but I don't even know if anybody's hit that yet. I don't know. I haven't received anything saying someone got to that yet. So, be interested to find out when someone hits it. Mm,
They're all like, oh, storybook
yeah,
quest.
yeah, no.
Now they're gonna go raid the city looking for this person as a storybook with
I
pitchforks.
I love the fact though that like I could put something in the game, and like they may not find it until after module one, right? And I'm okay with that. I think that
Mm.
there it should, you know, I'm very patient. All those years I've run, you know, D&D games, I've learned that it's always best to wait until the player can stumble on it, right? It says here, physically says Blizzard does 5 quests a sprint. And is there a sprint? Is it 2 weeks or is it a month or is it 3 month cycle? A sprint for me on my day job is 2 weeks. Justin Bieber. I would love to see, like, as a mini game, shoots and ladders for the Faelindral. That'd be great. And I would. Sean today was talking about tavern games. I hope we do that. I hope that
Mm.
we can pull that off. That would be nice. I've always wanted to do. I made a simple game before I got on the team where I called it Bone Chips, and it was based off of two necromancers playing kind of like dominoes, but like fancy dominoes with necromancer runes on it.
Mm.
And I showed it to Sean, and and played it, and it was. I mean, I like it. I think it'd be kind of cool to have that like in a tavern somewhere. Um, Justin Beer says my house has to be ADA compliant. No shade to Blizzard, but the choices NWC made have made this fast to develop is fantastic. Like I said, a lot of the choices we made was to try to. I mean, you can spend a lot of time nowadays with the, with Unreal Engine, right? I mean, it takes hundreds of people to make those games look fantastic. And if you guys have watched Zucan and ZBrush do the 3D art on their channels, that is real time. Like as there, you see, there's no BS there. You can see how long it takes to make a model look right. I do. Irk used to do the animation. I would say that I think animation even takes longer, a little bit longer. Um, I've also missed a few people following, so I'm sorry. Gucci Sega and looks like Shaky Flow at follows. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Um, let's see. Shaky Flow says it's cool that most of you guys do this besides your day jobs. Appreciate your passion. Can't wait to finally get in the game. I I am I'm excited. I can't wait for you guys to play. And I tell people all the time, it's like, well, you're not gonna have that many people. I said, if even if I had when I run a table game and I have 4 to 8 people playing a game, I, all my life I've run games, and even though it's only 4 to 8 people, I feel great that they've had an entertaining time at night. Right? I feel like I've done something. Um, it doesn't have to have millions of people for me to feel like we've accomplished something with this game. I mean, it would be nice, I'm not going to say that it would be bad to have millions of people playing and then, everybody's doing well, right? But the goal is to create something good. And Sean and Nick have gone over to try to make this uh, sort of self-sustaining game. I think a lot of times when people are making video games now, it's the profit margin they're looking at, and now that it takes what was the game that just was it Concord recently that they spent
Oh
like four
yeah,
hundred million dollars on, which is insane to
it's the
me.
biggest failure so far ever
Four
since
hundred
ET.
$400 million on a game that they put
Insane.
out there, and they only had a paltry 40,000 players in the first week, and they're like, oh, this is a failure. And I'm like,
Mm,
wow, you know,
yeah.
give it some time, right? And I
Yeah.
don't I don't understand that. My brain does not wrap around stuff like that. It's Dizzy. Hey, how's it going? I'm doing great. Getting a chance to hang out with you guys and get the game a little bit and show my daughter a little bit about the quest. She helps me out. Um, this I mean
Oh,
this is a good time for me. I enjoy this.
we did speaking about like only needing little people for a good game. We did a one-shot D&D campaign. It was Christmas flavored. It was just 3 players and the DM. And the players consisted of Krampus, an elf called Butt Toots, and the devil himself.
Jeez.
And the mission was to go kill Santa. And
That's
so
that's
we
a
uh,
goal.
we 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 walk up to this North Pole, Of course, DM's like, "Wow, this is such a unique party. What made y'all come together? And I said, this is Earth's finest warriors. And so we go in there, we beat up dozens of little Santa elves, and there's like bigger elves that are like more barbarian like. And then there's two bosses we come across. I don't know if you remember from the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer 3D animation. There's a big Yeti called Bumble.
Yeah, I remember
We
that.
literally fought him. I don't know what manual monster he used for that. I do know what manual monster they used for Santa though. He used a beholder. He
You,
was-
you, you know the best part of gaming, like doing tabletop gaming during like the Christmas season, is that you got all these like Christmas villages, and it is the perfect size. Like I went to a guy's house one time, and he had his entire floor of like a Christmas village. So it was like a raid on a city with ogres and stuff, and we had to hold them all. I'm just saying, you got the little miniatures of carolers, and you have to, they have the innocent bystanders you have to protect. You know, it was really crafty, but I mean, you get some really good terrain, and like I said, it was hilarious. It makes for a great
and
night.
you know exactly when I knew that Santa Claus's monster he used was the beholder was when it went ho 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 and then the huge lasers shot out of Santa's eyes and started covering the entire room.
As it's definitely a D&D game where things just go crazy. Vegas the Great says if each of us brings on two other subscribers and they bring two other subscribers, yeah, I mean that would be great. I would like I said, I would love to see the game grow huge over time. I do understand the reasoning why Sean keeps saying, well, we don't want to like to go out on Steam and have like 15 million people on the first day because it's better to start off small and then grow and then have the infrastructure grow slowly over time. I hear these guys talk. If you go back and look at like Sean's old interviews, I don't have a link for it, but if you go to 11 Robots YouTube stream, he's got a list of all these interviews from people from EverQuest, and to hear these guys talk about like they didn't think the game would be huge and how it just sort of exploded and they weren't ready for it, and you think about that was when EverQuest first came out, like there was still people on baud modems, right? There wasn't digital at all. It wasn't like there was optical cable, and I can just imagine that was a nightmare. But it was like I said, I feel like if we start kind of small and kind of build up, and people like it, and they talk to their friends, and word of mouth catches on. I mean, who knows how far it will go? Who knows?
A good example of a game that actually like started off slow. I mean, it started off slow. They had a huge amount of people come in and play it, even though they were on Steam. And then later on, added their game to Steam and got the rest of the people. Was Infinity Nikki. It's a
Yeah.
free game, but that was just you had to go on their actual website and download their game, and then like a couple months later, it was available on Steam. So I get they wanted like a soft start.
Hmm. Let's see. Sami-san says they should have let Concord cook a bit longer. I've
Mm.
never even knew of it before the bad press came out. I heard about it. There was a small, well, I'll say the only thing I knew about it beforehand was there was a small Netflix series. I'm thinking it was called The Secret Level, and
Mm.
one of the little shows like it took different games and made a episode after each game. Like it had one about Mega Man, one on Pac Man, one on D&D, and they're really good if you get a chance to see them. My favorite one, of course, was Mega Man, but I mean, I'm an old gamer. I beat the first four games back in the '80s. But really good series, and they had one for Concord. It was really good. And then when the game came out, I am not a huge fan of the like the Overwatches, or I'm trying to think, it's Marvel Rivals. I mean, Jenna plays it, and does really well at it. But
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
say really well. Yes.
you're much better at it than I am. The few
I,
times I
I would
played it, I was
say
horrible.
it's one of those games where you're depressed, so you play it to feel more depressed. Overwatches.
Yeah.
And then you you go in there and you lose 2 games and like, yeah, this is about what I thought would happen.
At least what it says, that's the link that they live in robot. I don't know if I can't see it. I don't know if it actually came up for me. I don't know if there's a protection or something that's on here that's keeping links from coming up. I'll have to check that later. But I will tell y'all that it's worth your time to watch these videos. I like, as I'm working my day job. I'm a project leader and a programmer by day, and a lot of times when I'm doing code, I have to tune everything out around me, and so I'll just listen to one of these VODs, and they're very informative, and it's interesting to hear the old war stories from what they had to do back in the trenches of the EQ days. Fizwick says, "How do we support you directly? Do you prefer Twitch? Do you have Ko-fi?" I do not have Ko-fi. I appreciate all the support you guys give. It just, one, it's appreciated but not necessary. And I will tell you, there are other people on the team that don't have the day job that probably could use it more than me. I try to do my best. Like all the guys on the team, I try to support them. I try to subscribe to them every month, and I just I can do it. And I can help out, and so I do it. And it's not expected. But I mean, I just know that I'm fortunate, and so I like to pay that forward. And I love this vision. I fell in love with Sean's vision, 4 years ago. But there's a part of me that I've always wanted to see a game like this, where to me. I mean, granted, I like saying like D&D or Pathfinder, but this is as close as it gets, in my opinion. Oh, looks like we'll be shutting down. Apparently, there's an
And
update.
also, I know a way you can support Monsters and Memories as a whole. You said that there was a merch shop coming out next year or something like that.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing that when EA opens up is probably when they'll start doing that, because they want to. I mean, they don't want to take money up front right now until they're ready for that. But I think that if they're taking money for EA, then that's when they'll probably want to do a merch shop too. That's my guess.
Yeah.
That's my educated guess based off of what I know about businesses. May have to swap out here for a minute and restart. I'm gonna go ahead and have this set up. Uh,
Hmm.
we're good for that now. But you guys hang on. We'll be back and we'll discuss more. Um, uh, I'm not sure what the update is. Hopefully, we'll be fine. If worst case scenario, I'll go over like the Unity stuff. 10 seconds. Quick, save everything you got. Bye, bones.
Boss!
Uh, Lisa says, "Oh yeah, it's probably got filtered out." Fizwick Pennyworth says, "Oh well, if you know a better person, I'll send it their way." I I mean, all the team is good. I will say that I know the people who have Ko-fi. Is it Ko-fi or Ko-fi?
Ko-Fi.
For sure, Goblin has one and Zucan has one. I'm not sure. Let's see. I'll restart. Be right back. Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm in.
I am still loading.
Make sure it loads up. Yep.
I posted their
Why?
Twitch names on the bottom.
Yeah.
So they have the Goblin Works and Zucan Scopes.
Yeah. Thank you guys for the support. It's much appreciated. And it would. Why would it do a break once the game come back up? It's almost like Murphy's Law, right? It's like, yeah, okay, the stream is working now, so now we got to put a commercial break in there.
It's your FBI agent watching
Is
and
that what it is?
knowing exactly when
Someone's
to put the ad on.
someone's watching my stream and going like, yeah,
I
that we're gonna get him right now.
I only get 60-minute YouTube ads when I'm on lunch for 30 minutes. Or 60-second YouTube ads.
Well, I'm already paying for like myself. I pay for YouTube myself, and
Mm.
I saw there was like a free thing for the Twitch version of that, and they say it's like only like $11 if you
Mm.
want to go ad free. So I may wind up paying for Twitch too, just because I don't like ads. But I'm still
Uh,
gonna wind up uh, subscribing and subbing the guys to help them out.
If you watch it a lot, it's worth it. The only thing, me personally, I have to think about is, well, how many things am I subscribing to? You know?
Mm.
Because it does add up over time. And also, one of the things I hate is when I subscribe to something, but I still have to watch ads. So, example, like Netflix or HBO has it too, where there's like a cheaper subscribe option, but you still
Mm-hmm.
have to watch ads. I'll never pay for that. I'll never. It's
Arthax,
either
thanks for the tip there. I went ahead and used that. I saw it, but wasn't sure if I was gonna mess something up. I'm still kind of a noob at this, but I went ahead and I hit the snooze button to see how that works. It said 5 minutes, but that will probably go by really quick. And I was gonna tell you, Jenna, I have got my camera thing working too. I just gotta figure out when I want to do that. Yay! But it may be better just to use the animation. I don't know if they want to see an old man on camera. That would probably be bad.
oh, I
It's
think you
all
need
good.
to like. It might be a little late now that's Halloween. You might be able to do it on Amazon. I think you need to get like a life-size skeleton prop for Bones to sit next to you.
That's not a bad idea.
Maybe,
Just dress up like a
maybe,
necromancer. Have
yeah,
Bones sitting
maybe if you
behind me.
got some like old solar armor you could put on him. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I kind of miss that armor. I wish I still had it. Yeah, I think yeah. Yeah, I had that. I kept it for many years, and then I had actually it was I think it was Clarence or Mac I gave it to.
Mm.
Just because it needed to be taken care of. Stuff like the leather has to be oiled after a while, and metal. Um,
Do you
Tsunami-san
know how many
says
bones are in the body?
yeah, that would be a lot.
So
I'd have to cheese it kind of like our low polygon models.
hold on. How many
Oh,
bones?
lots,
It
plenty.
says
So that
206 bones, so you'd
that
have to
th-
print 206
oh,
items.
I do have something else I can show you guys that we're working on. I'm gonna zone over to Faelindral real quick.
You're good. My game's like not one to load in. I'll keep trying though.
Okay. Make sure you completely shut it completely down out of the client
Oh,
and then restart it.
you, you are so right.
Yeah, because when they do the update, it doesn't automatically update the launcher. We do have recently got somebody on the team who is specifically going to be working on the patcher slash launcher. application. Oh, cool. You can
Ooh.
see it here. All right. So the other day I was talking to Sean and asked him if I could. Bones, are you okay, buddy? All right. He was in the ground for a second there. But I told him, I said, I kind of wanted to work on the over here where the myconids are at. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but during the day, they have a different routine or pattern than they do during the night. During the day, they've got little spots that they hang out.
Yep, that worked. Resetting it. Not lies.
And to show you the difference, let me see, make sure I don't mess anybody up over here. Let's see, anybody else is. Oh, just me. Okay, so I can do this. I try to be mindful of whoever else is in the zone. We're gonna say 1 a.m. So this we'll swap it at night, and then their patterns will change. I don't know if you can see or not. Whip out the staff, but they kind of meander in the evening, because it's dark.
They're almost like vampires. They can't really be
Yeah,
out in the daylight.
yeah. I just figured they'd be more active at night, nocturnal. And
Yeah.
then I was gonna show you little stuff I did in here. Oh, the fungal druid, I changed their outfits a little bit too while I was at it.
They got outfits?
Yeah, I changed it a little bit because I told Sean they were kind of placeholdery, and I wanted them to be more mushroom-like. So if you look at the fungal druids, they all have these mantles now.
There you go.
Lets them blend in a
Oh,
little bit more.
you're talking about the people. I thought you meant the actual mushroom people. I was like, they have outfits?
No,
That you dressed them up?
but then I will say some of the myconids do have like a shoulder pad looking attachment.
Okay.
Yeah, but the druids themselves, excuse me, the garments now match sort of the shrooms, the myconids, and then the myconids, they don't really camp,
You
but they
know, it
do
would be really
circle up.
cool if you made it where you kind of like sunk their bodies into the ground where it was just their head and cap and made them completely still, and when the player comes by, they jump up out of the ground.
That's a good idea. Actually, I think that would be harder to do with the NAM meshes
Oh,
because
okay.
I considered it. But also, I thought would it be kind of interesting if I could get some mushrooms that look. Oh, and these mushrooms here, the grayish looking tops, those aren't finished yet. Bill's got to go through and add coloration to it. So they'll be red and blue and stuff, so they'll match a little bit here. But I've also thought that druids can use they've got like a illusion plant, like a desert druid's got the illusion cactus, or the tree view or not. So the mushrooms, I may at some point give them cast ability where they can look like mushrooms, right? That would do the same sort
Yeah.
of sort of fix the same problem that you're talking about.
Yeah. And then you can surprise people, just running around, not thinking about it.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to kick this ad down the road one more time here. I don't think it did. It just said dismiss. I don't know if it's gonna do it or not. Yeah. So this was I worked through this area, added some more I don't know if you can tell or not, but like the rocks along the walls, try to give it more of a 3D feel. So I added, more rocks and mushrooms on the outside and uh, some inner structure, so it's just not a gaping cave or whatnot. It's got some line of sight breakage.
Ooh, or if you do the whole like they transform into a regular mushroom, you should also make them transform into the mushrooms that grow on trees, so they can pop down and fall down on you.
Not a bad idea. But I tried to make it more cave-like and give it a little bit more interest in as far as visuals. And then if you do, like if I do the inside here and say, okay, time set here. And 1 a.m. again. And you can watch them do their, oh, I just popped out. And how they meander around. Oh, that's not good. I gotta figure out what's going on with that. That works fine, but apparently, mushrooms going into the rock is not good. Figure out what's going on there. This should be solid. And then I changed some of originally the myconids were all fighters, and so I gave them some healers amongst themselves so they can. And I feel like it looks like spores going off of them anyway.
Yeah.
Gives it a nice little look to it.
I like their little dance.
You like the little dance? I think they did a great job with the models and all. I don't know which one it was that did this. Looks great. Animations look good. And like once Bill gets the coloration on the tops of the mushrooms in here, it'll all look really. It'll all blend in together really good. It is 1:30. I think we can stop it here for the night. Does anybody have any questions? Have I answered all your questions? I appreciate you guys sitting with us tonight and going through this. I know it wasn't as much a combat stream or whatnot, but I kind of wanted to give you guys a little insight of how we do quest or how I do quest. A little, I think it's important. On my end, I feel like it's important to show you guys what I've learned and then how I'm applying stuff. Because I've said before in the other streams, it's like there could be somebody out there who wants to make a game too, right? And then if you could see this kind of stuff and how it works, and I will say that creating games is a lot of work, and MMOs are probably a lot more. But to me, it's been worthwhile. I use it as it's more like therapy for me, honestly. I enjoy it. It's fun work for me to do. But I'm saying that if you guys want to make a game, you should do it. You should make your own game if you want to. And it doesn't have to be like an MMO. It doesn't have to be, it could be whatever. I just feel like there should be, it should be. The medium is hard, and it's not for the faint of heart. But it's obtainable. It's doable. People can make games. There's been shops of just one person, right? And has done well. Like I'm trying to think, the guy who did Stardew Valley, the guy who made Aeon Verge, Axiom Verge,
Lethal Company. That's
Lethal
a one
Company,
person.
right? So, and I mean, it doesn't have to be like high res. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to have the latest and greatest graphics for your game to be good. I would tell you that I feel like gameplay or game mechanics trump anything else, right? So if you've got good gameplay mechanics, people are much more forgiving on how it looks. And that's probably the reason why people still play chess and checkers, right? It's not for the graphics.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll call it here for a night. I'll say my goodbyes, and hopefully get to see you guys again at some point. Oh, looks like the client crashed on me again. I got to get the hang on here. All right. I don't know. Next time we'll be able to do this. When I'm in getting a chance to stream with Jenna, it's mostly based on her schedule. She works the night shift.
I do work a lot. I am a slave to the system.
Nah, I just think you come from a long line of workaholics for sure. You know, it's good though. It's good. It's good for you.
I
We
don't know about good for you.
It is. It is. Trust me, down the road you're gonna appreciate it. But when I know the next time I can stream, usually it's like I try to do it on like a Friday night when I got time, or maybe a Sunday night, or just whenever we can get together. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out for a little bit, and I enjoyed getting to show you guys a little bit of the game. Next time we're gonna wind up doing maybe a group. I might be able to try to get some other people. Maybe some of the other devs will join us, and we'll maybe yeah. I know I'm trying to think of some of the spots I really need to test. You know, some combat and make sure that the enemies are right. But you guys have a great night. Y'all take care. Arthur, it's good to see you, sir. Can't wait to see your next stream.
Bye.
Bye. Night, Sami-san. You too, sir. Shaky Flow. You take care. Night.